Alright, sorry about that, guys. It's a fully complete facility with the supremacy interior. So like I said, I'm gonna nitpick this a little bit, guys, but it'd be kinda nice if you could actually use this. Oh, you can, but it'd be kinda nice if there was a chair here, I should say. Honestly, surprised my helmet went back on after it went off like that. Looks like some gin over here. I'm really kind of disappointed that you can't go in here in any of these doors, and there's nothing really down here. Everyone obviously likes the free snacks, so that was a good idea. The security room is kind of cool, and it comes in handy.
Bioweapon containment area currently is locked down.
This doesn't really even make any sense to have this here, but it does look cool. But again, I wish like those doors would work. And then I looked around this place a lot, and it's like training room. This would be cool if they had like director mode in here somehow or something, or you had a gun range in here. Like, yeah, I know you get a gun range at the bunker, but I mean seriously, like why even put this door here if you're not even gonna put anything or make it open or anything like that, like most of those doors. But my main thing that I complain the most about, and it makes no sense, and maybe you guys can give me an opinion or not, but look above you. Look at that catwalk up there. Do you guys see that? Do you see those doors up there with the red symbols? They totally could have made some of these doors down here openable, and you could have went up there into that catwalk, and then you could have had something up there. I mean, they took the time to put this catwalk in the game, and they didn't even have it so you could walk up there and just lean over it and look at all of your stuff. Hopefully everyone understands what I'm saying, but I mean, it's not like this is a big deal or anything, but you put it in the game, and it could be useful. And I mean, they could have put like a clubhouse up there or something. This is the half track. Everything's fully upgraded on this. The armor's alright on it, but anyone can just shoot right through those holes. It's just hard sometimes, but this is much better. The Insurgent, you gotta get that top thing on there. You gotta unlock it, do the gun running bunker, but it's totally worth it. I think it's only $1,500 too, which is pretty amazing. And me and my friend tested that thing up top, and just so you guys know, you can roll this as many times as you want, and the person in the top will not fall out of it at all. This is the Kanjali. It's got the railgun, cannons, and then the little grenade cannons that shoot out, and then the 50 cal, and then there's a little troop carrier back here. This is the APC tank. This is a bronze color, just so you guys know. It's got the SAM turret. This is like a point and shoot one. You don't even have to lock on or anything like that. It's pretty nice. But this will go up basically any hill, and it'll float in the water, which is really useful. Very fun. This isn't too bad, but basically this is a useless vehicle unless you have somebody to help you. And I also want to note that it'd be nice if you could get like 2 or 3 companion NPCs, because this will hook up to the anti-tank trailer that isn't here, then you could have like 3 NPCs using this, and you could actually use some of this stuff. Not everyone plays with the team or not, or whatnot. You know, some people are just solo players. This is my Avenger. It actually comes in handy and it's pretty useful. A lot of people like to blow it up when you're in it. The Terabyte would probably be the better one to get if you don't want to get blown up in it. And then you could do the client jobs in a Terabyte. This I don't use at all, really. I just put it in here because I wanted to say that I got everything in the game. To be honest with you, it just shoots water, nothing fancy. The only upgrades are like armor and the other water cannon. And I'm pretty sure it's like $200,000 for the other water cannon. And basically a waste of money. Don't get that. I got it for free. No, this thing is actually pretty cool. For some reason I like to get all the shovels and the axes and whatnot on all the vehicles. If you haven't noticed that. Look pretty decent. They all have mines on them too, by the way. Every one of these has proximity mines. Besides that water cannon thing. Where I could just drop them. Sometimes they'll go into a busy section in Rockford Hills and just drop like 5 of them. And then my player will just be like sitting and watching TV so I don't get kicked, and I'll see people hitting the mines still. It's pretty funny. The AIs can hit the mines too. I'll make a video of that if you guys want me to show you. I actually don't like killing players for no reason or picking on them or whatnot. It was more about making money on the game than anything. But this one I actually bought, actually worked pretty hard to get this, but the upgrades, it's got the rocket thing on the back, which I heard never work in real life, but if you don't know, that thing shoots like the noob tube rounds. And then we got the revolving minigun on top. Fortunately, if you flip, both of the people die on the top of this one, so it's pretty cool looking, but I wouldn't say it's a must-have in the game. I mean, the insurgent pickup would probably be a little better. I mean, you're not going to get as much firepower, but if you flip in the insurgent pickup, then you won't die. And that comes in, you know, that's really useful. Now this one shoots mortars out the rear, if you're wondering what this thing is. That thing's sticking out the back. And it's got dual 50 cals. You can revolve those around and spin them by the press of a button too. This thing also has rockets in the front. But yeah, the miniguns don't have to be locked on or anything like that. It's really useful. It also shoots mines, and it's probably one of the fastest ones. Probably a little less faster than the Doom Buggy. I can keep pulling up the stats if you guys want, but these are all fully upgraded. And this is the ballistic missile launcher, which I think is a waste of money. Tried to go after players with this a few times, and by the time I get to the player I'm trying to kill, this thing in the front just explodes enough cars to where it blows this. It makes this ballistic missile launcher itself start smoking, which this is no fun, really, by the time you get there. But you also need someone to operate it. This is where they go into the back, and then someone's got to be in the front. And then these jacks sit right here, if you could see. Those actually deploy now. I'm not sure if someone can get out of the front and go get into this thing, but if they could, you wouldn't be able to move. I feel like maybe it should have had more armor. stuff like this should have more armor, especially with the Oppressor 2s out. Because the Oppressor 2s are very hard to battle. Nothing in this room I don't think can match the Oppressor 2s. Even the Kanjali blows up with like 3 rocket hits. This thing probably has more. Armor than that. But I'm about to make a new video, guys, so make sure you watch the next one because it's going to be even more helicopters. This is what a completely full facility looks like. Except my jetpack, I think, is outside. I cannot stop the video without showing you that because that's one of the most important parts of the Doomsday facility. I just want to say right off the bat, guys, make sure you do not buy the RCV water cannon, and make sure you do not buy the ballistic missile launcher. Those are not smart purchases. And this is the jetpack, guys. It's pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. It was a lot better than the Oppressor and the Deluxo at one point. I have raced with my friend. If you get this JADO boost, that's that red thing, you just click L3 and then it just shoots you up in the air. It's not bad. There's a spot for it in here. It's that little circle spot. And you go up the stairs. I'm gonna go ahead and just make this a longer video. I'm gonna show you guys a little something. This thing also has flares over the mount. It's faster than the Deluxo too. I raced my friend in the Deluxo and he took off. He was way in the lead, but then I made him race me at Sandy Shores Airfield. And eventually, when we were getting to the end, I got in front of him because the jetpack takes longer to accelerate, but in the long run, it's faster in general. Seems like a player right here with something. I'm gonna just leave him alone. I'm showing you guys this video. Maybe I'll try to spare him a little. Kudo. I'm gonna go ahead and add that you could, if we do the sim style game, it's like the flares didn't work, unfortunately, or I didn't deploy them when I should have. But that's okay. You see my flares in the distance.
Hello, this is Morse Mutual Insurance. I'll do my best.
We get real bored on this game. They got nothing better to do, really. There was a bounty on my head, but there's so much more games to play than this one. Really. Really just showing you guys this because I got almost everything in the game. I'd like you to. And at one point I did have fun with this game. The bugs alone are a problem itself. But back to what I was telling you. And we can go around and look at them if you want to in a minute. But you could be, when this was a sim style game, which it could have been, where Rockstar put the detail, the time, money, and detail into it, you could have actually been a member of the armed forces and drove to work here every day at the fort, and you could have little missions where you have training exercises and you drive through tanks and the valley, and you go practice in the desert. You could be a recon assistant. I mean, you could put together guns. You gotta have a little mini game where you clean people's guns and reinstall parts for them. I mean, there's a million different jobs. You could even be a cook if you wanted to in the military. And I think it would have been interesting if they would have added that in the game. I'm just throwing more and more ideas out there for our little sim style game. So they created this whole world and they don't really get that this world is what people want and they play the most or whatever, and not a lot of people play story mode nowadays. So story mode could actually end up being dead. If you haven't noticed, some people don't even have story mode in their games. I mean, could you imagine a game where Grand Theft Auto took all the effort from story mode and put it into random NPC missions? It'd be a pretty fun game, if you ask me. Could be like Fallout 4 and make about 10 main story mode missions and then all the others like 20 quest factions for about 3 different factions. It could be something like that. Would be more fun. But here's the pyro. This is fully upgraded, just has rockets on it, really. Flies really good. This is the thing that the guy just blew me up in. You can barrage rockets, or just, they go as fast as you can spam X. This is one of those Novak P55s, I think. I don't like the liveries that I've chosen, or the liveries. I'm gonna note that this rogue plane, someone was coming after me in a Hydra, and I had this plane, and they shot a rocket at me, and I deployed flares. And, I looked at the minimap, and they flew around and tried to go after someone else, and I decided to turn around and go after them. This plane turns on a dime. So you could shoot a rocket at him and then turn so quick he won't even be able to get that Hydra around. So technically this, in my opinion, this plane right here, this Rogue One, which is like $1 million, is better than the Hydra. This is the coolest stealth helicopter. This helicopter actually goes off the radar. It's a must-have in the game. If you haven't got it on sale, when it's been on sale many times yet, then you've really missed out, and you gotta start saving your money. Don't be buying stupid stuff like clothes. Just keep wearing the same clothes all the time. Laugh at the people that do spend money on clothes, really, because it's a really big waste. This is the Hunter FH1. This can withstand like 3 rocket shots. I'm pretty sure 3 exploding sniper rounds or 2. But it's basically the tank of the helicopters in this game. It can withstand the most bullets. It's pretty durable. There's a mission that you play in it with it on one of these activities. This reminds me of the Hydra a little bit, but it doesn't like hover above the ground. But I haven't literally stopped this plane. This would be a good one to stop on top of the Maze Bank if you haven't seen people were doing that on Facebook. But that thing, you can pretty much stop it anywhere, surprisingly. You think you're going to crash it, but it's got these flaps that come out right here. And it's not bad. This, I like the livery. If you haven't seen that movie. It's got a JADO thrust on it so you could shoot off faster. It's really pretty terrible for if you don't have another person, because it becomes like that's the only weapon you get really in the back. And that thing sucks, man. You're trying to look down there, you're looking at the wing mostly. It's pretty bad. I wish Rockstar just would have made it like a bubble or something where you could have turned a 360 or something with the gun, because it's pretty bad. The only cool thing about it is that you can put it in the water. But you gotta make sure you don't put it in the water, and because it turns into a helicopter actually too. But that's what I was gonna say too. You gotta be careful you don't put it in a helicopter into the water when it's in helicopter mode, because you'll mess up the engines. Pretty disappointing, but it's pretty expensive too. I would say not to get this. But it's up to you. This is pretty cool. It's from Grand Theft Auto 4 if you didn't know, but you could paint them differently. It's not bad. I had it painted red and yellow. Somebody said it was like Ronald McDonald, so I wanted to change it. You know, I got a few planes here. I want to show you guys actually quite a few. This has got the princess, or it's either got the Princess Bubblegum livery, or it looks like they changed it. I do not think that I had this livery on here. It's kind of weird, guys. It's like almost like this is someone else's livery, because I did not change this to this livery. Maybe like the game's confused, since this is so many other people's storage spot as well.
What we doing today?
But this game, I'll show you guys this one. Also, I'm gonna show you guys a few more planes after this also. If you notice, the most dreadful thing is going in the water with a plane almost. With this plane, you don't have to worry about that too much, because you just press L3 is how I'm doing that rocket thing. You can go right in. Unfortunately, I went in too much of an angle. But you can actually go dip into the water with that plane a little bit, and then you could shoot right back out with the rocket, which is what I was trying to show you guys. And unfortunately, didn't work out so well. So just remember, if you're worried about KD also, it's really easy to die in these planes, all of them. I don't care how good of a pilot you think you are. I'm glad I'm showing you guys this video. I'm gonna show you it's probably only gonna be $1,000 that I put my plane in the water, which is really good considering that some of the vehicles can get very expensive.
MMI. We expect the
It's only
unexpected.
$1,000, guys.
Sure.
Which is pretty good. It'd be getting pretty expensive. If you don't know how to do this by now, I'm sure you do. You could go and request a vehicle for your interaction menu instead of calling your. You gotta make sure you're at a suitable road. Keep their matchmaking closed so you don't get as much people in your session as well. That comes in very handy too. So I'm gonna go ahead and request my vehicle. It might end up getting a plane. No, I end up getting a jetpack. The jetpack, I was gonna make a note that it spawns like a vehicle. If I were to spawn a vehicle right now, I just request my vehicle and the jetpack just came too. These are a few untold things. And a lot of things people might not know about. Now you do. And I will say that probably the jetpack and the Akula is a must-have in the game. For some reason, this happens every time I go into my hangar. Which, I don't know if you've heard people. Some people claim that there's no bugs in these games. That is in fact a bug. And that happens every single time. Just want to note that Rockstar made a lot of money on this game too. For them to have a bug like that, I don't think it's very fair. Okay, so this is my Princess Bubblegum livery. Viatol, I believe it's pronounced something like that. I don't really care. But you'll see it on warstock.com. But I just wanted to say it's got a Princess Bubblegum library on the bottom, like a picture of her, I mean, on the bottom and the top, a giant picture on both wings. The plane is ridiculously huge. I don't need 2 people to even like remotely operate it, but up to 4 people can operate it. And you can also get a Space Republic library for it. I'm just gonna go up and show you the library on the top. Show you guys right there. Alright. So I also have this plane. I want to say the same thing, and the wings kind of get in the way of this one. These little things on the side are JATO thrusters, just so you know. Help you take off faster. But this one's, there's no rockets or anything. It's not very, you need about 3 people. You definitely need someone on top there, so at least 2 people operate it. I mean, it looks cool and everything, but it's definitely not a must-have in the game, I would say, at all. This is the Bombshuka, and again, all these things on the side like this are JATO thrust. It's got like a Russian vodka livery. Look pretty good with a white, so it's a white and red. Need about 3 people to operate that. You know, guys, I got a buzzard. I had the Havoc and I sold it. I got a buzzard. sea sparrow, the cargo bomb, the hydra. I got a bronze hydra. You've all seen those before. I pretty much showed you guys all the ones that are very expensive. Like this one right here is like 3 million, 4 million. So if you have the Titan in here, guys, you can actually open the back of it. I'm going to show you that. And that's the last thing I'll show you. So that's what a completely full hanger looks like. It should take you a very long time to fill that hanger, so, like the way I did it, so I just wouldn't even try. But you would just go to vehicle, doors, and all of them. And I could fit about 10 people back there. I tried to fit a car in here, and it kept like bashing up against the door, and the car was smoking, and it fell out eventually. Very kind of strange, like weird that it did that. But even if not, could you just think of the possibilities, like off the top of your head? Like, look at all those weaponized vehicles I have. Like, you could easily just go above people, have little wars, and parachute out the back, maybe with oppressors, and like an infantry team, or maybe with a tank or something, and go down. But one of my first thoughts was to do, which I need another person to do, but you could actually get the Ruiner 5000, which is on your stock right here. You could actually get this, and a player to drive the oppressor, or you put that player in the back. So you would get that and put this in the back with the other player, and then you would go as high as you could in the air and then fly out. And if you don't know, the Ruiner 2000 is the only vehicle in the game that has parachutes on it. So you could hop off a bridge and get a parachute out. It kind of comes in handy sometimes, but when you're fighting people with oppressors and oppressors too, there's really nothing to stop them from killing you, unfortunately. But yeah, guys, this is gonna be the end of this video. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go to my CEO office and start up another video. In a minute, I'm gonna show you. I got mostly all the cars in the game. And I'm pretty sure I have enough to buy the rest of the ones I need. And we'll do that together tonight. And then I still gotta show you guys my yacht and all the upgraded motorcycle MC businesses. And then I wanted to touch base a little bit. You know, it'd be fun if they made it where you kind of did have to start out on the bottom at this game. Maybe you were like, we're talking more about that Sims game I was telling you guys about. And you could be like a worker at that vineyard or something. You know, build yourself up to a manager, and then maybe try to be a manager at a different company, corporation, maybe, and use that. Try to go from there. I think it'd be kind of fun. I mean, that's one of the things that The Sims lacks, is when your character goes out to work, you don't actually see what they're doing. I think it'd be fun if you actually got to go to work and play things differently. Obviously, you have to fast forward through work, but you get to see real life scenarios and whatnot played out. Point out right here, you could be a construction worker working on this building. And they could have missions where you're operating that crane. You operate this crane right here. And you can actually start progressing every day. The building could actually get finished. And then you could start another building actually from the ground up. See how it goes there. That'd be pretty interesting. Maybe there could be a mission where there's terrorists. I try to blow up the building structure. And the construction manager being held hostage. And another player who chose to be a police officer. Other players that chose to be police officers as their career could come and save you. And it could be an entirely online based game. Maybe a couple NPCs could come in effect when those people aren't there. It's an interesting thought. And I'm going to touch more about this in my next video, so make sure you guys watch it. If you want to hear it, I'm going to go break down detail by detail what I mean by starting the Sims game. I just wanted you to notice if you guys just caught that it looked like my parachute was deployed, but I was still falling. Forgot that was my personal vehicle. Good thing it only cost $1,000. But that is another bug in the game, which isn't a big deal, but it is a bug.
Morse Mutual, how can I be of service? I think we can do that.
Some of these bugs are a big deal actually too, and this one isn't, but I don't know, one of the reasons I quit playing this game for a while is because every time I go to the gun store, the owner of the gun store was never there, and it gets pretty irritating. You can own up to 10 pieces of body armor, but you can't buy one because every single gun store I go to, player's not there. But okay, watch the next video, guys.